All right. Okay, Lucas, are you ready for making a video about something cool you did in the last weeks?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so as everybody knows, this blog is all about making videos and making tutorials of things that I've done in the past. And actually, this time, Lucas is going to share something with me and with anybody who wants to check this material. And actually, he's the second guest in my blog. So the first guest was my very good Scottish friend, James Morrison, and we were doing a completely different thing. And so, long story short, this blog post is about something I did in the past with NetFlow traffic. So I was working with a customer and there was a need and I was doing some demos and so I wanted to keep this for the future because I forget everything. So it happens that people reused this content. So I know that because actually I was talking to some people and they reused it. And so Lucas did it as well. But so Lucas not only reused all this material, but he took it to the next level as he usually does. And so actually this picture over here is part of all the results he got after doing all the steps that he's going to share with us today. And that's everything I'm going to mention during the video. So probably I will stop you during the video if I have any question, because it would be nice that I can reproduce this myself in the future. So if there is something I don't understand and if you don't mind, I will ask you.
Of course.
Okay, so without any further ado, I will hand over to you. And so the stage is yours. So let me start sharing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So are you watching my screen right now?
Yeah, perfect.
Great. So first of all, thank you very much for this opportunity, Raul. I think it's a really nice initiative to, let's say, to save the work we've done and to make it available and useful for somebody else, as it has been to me, the work you did some months ago. So my situation was pretty similar to yours. I was working with a client trying to run a demo, and well, your material was really useful for me. And well, I'm talking with some experts and reading some documentation. I was able to do a bit more because this client, himself was asking for some more information, and I was able to do it. Yeah. So let's imagine that you have run all the stuff that was explained by Raul in the first blog, but now you want to do some to start getting some value from the NetFlow data that you are already indexing at Splunk, and you want to play with real-time data, as Splunk does pretty well, but also you want to play with some long-term data. Let's say you have NetFlow data for several months, and you want to do some analysis, some trends, or even applying machine learning to that. So what I've done is to play with the super flexible schema on read of Splunk, but also to play with some data model acceleration functionalities that Splunk has on it, to be able to enjoy the schema on write experience that will allow us to have really fast searches on data. So the first step, so let's go to stream and to check that we are in the last step that was performed by Raul, that was to get some NetFlow data in real time, that you can see here that it's already indexing. And if you go to the Splunk interface, we can see that the Splunk stream is sending the data to your Splunk instance.
Okay, so Lucas, one question. So right now you are starting just at the point I left it, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
that was the point. So show that we are right in the same point, and now we are going to build on top of that.
Okay, nice.
So let's follow the steps and show you what I done. So first of all, I did an app in Splunk. You know that in Splunk you are doing app not by developing, but you know they are some kind of containers of configurations, and those containers will have inside of them several, well, mainly two dashboards with a set of panels that will allow you to have some sample information about how to do this dashboarding of long-term and short-term data with NetFlow in Splunk. So first of all, I will download the application that I have here in GitHub, and we'll deploy it in our Splunk instance.
Okay, cool.
This is over here.
And so how is the process of building this application? Is that difficult, or is something that you build over time, and once you are done with the desktop, with the dashboards and the additional artifacts, you just export it and it's ready, or how is the process?
Yeah, well, you can do it on two different ways. You can, at the beginning, and that's what I've done, to select and to choose a new app, because I knew that I wanted to have this export at the end. So I create a new app. You can do it with a couple of clicks in the Splunk GUI. And then every dashboard that you want to generate, you generate that from this app. And then when you want to export the app, well, you have this kind of tar file that you will be able to deploy in any instance of Splunk. So it's really easy.
Okay, cool. And then you can reuse this file across different instances, and you will have a second. Okay, nice.
Absolutely right. So now I will download it. I have it here. And now I will go. Let's go to the blog. And we will follow the steps to deploy it. So I need to go to my Splunk instance and log in. You can see here that these are the two apps that were already deployed, the search and reporting. There is the standard Splunk app that comes with every deployment, and the Splunk stream that was the one that was configured and deployed by Raul. So we will go to this button of here and click to have some new app. So let's go to the landing page. Click here on the wheel. And I will say, well, here you have the list of apps that are deployed, enabled, disabled in your Splunk instance, and that's not important right now. And well, here you can install apps from your Splunk base, but in this case, I will install the app from the file that we have just downloaded. I will choose the file. So now I just only need to click on the upload button, and it will be deployed. Okay. Now you can see here that NetFlow sample dashboard that is containing the two dashboards that I created. It's over there. Now it will not work because we need to perform all the configuration that I will show you how to do that.
Okay.
So first of all, we need to deploy 3 apps. The first of them is a Splunk Common Information Model. That it's, well, let's say that Splunk is a data platform, and when you're having the data, you can, let's say, apply different lenses to it. So on Splunk, the Common Information Model will help you to apply those lenses. It contains a set of, let's say, extractions, calculated fields, and well, different stuff with different lenses, such as network data, security data, and so on, that will allow you to take in general data as the NetFlow logs to see them from the network perspective. And that will allow you later to this data model acceleration that will help you with these long-term searches, doing them really fast.
So is this something like standardizing all the data that you are ingesting? So it's a way of, okay.
That's right. And yeah, those two apps are basically visualization apps that will allow you to have some cool visualization that you will see later on. So for installing them, in this case, we are not deploying them from a file that have on localhost. It will be from the Splunk base. So we will go again to the landing page, and we will click here on Find More Apps. And then I will look for them. The first of them is the SIM app. Is this one over here. And I will click on install. I will use my username and password.
And this is something you can create an account for a Splunk base, right?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
This is something that you can create for free, and so it doesn't have any costs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's I was going to say that right now, but yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
No problem, no problem. So login and install, and it's now installed. Let's say done, and let's look for the next one. So I will perform the same steps for a Splunk Sankey diagram and force directed app for Splunk. So this is the force directed app for one kind of visualization. The good point here is that the user and password has been saved, so it will be faster. And let's click on login and install. Great. And now let's go to the last one, this Splunk Sankey diagram, another kind of diagram that will be useful to see how the network traffic is moving from one node to other. So Sankey, fantastic. It's here, and login and install. Done. Great. So now we will check that the apps has been installed. So for that, because you will see that the Sankey diagram app will be available in the list of app in the landing page, but the SIM and Sankey, as they are, let's say, more add-on that app, so they don't have, let's say, a visual interface, they will not appear here, but they will appear in the list of app.
Okay.
Well, let's see that they appear and they have been successfully deployed. So great, you can see here the Sankey diagram, and let's see that the other apps are included in the list of apps that are deployed in our instance. So the other one was the SIM. Great, you have it right here, it's enabled. And the other one was the force directed app.
There you go.
And it's over here, and it's enabled.
Okay, this is important because sometimes you follow steps, but you don't double check that things were installed properly, and then you start getting errors and you don't know what's going on. So
yeah, and you need to start from the beginning. Yeah. So these simple checks will help you absolutely. Okay, so now, as you remember from the first part of the blog that was published by Raul, we were sending the NetFlow logs to the default index. And that is nice from a demo perspective, but I wanted to be a bit more precise. And in Splunk, that is really useful because sometimes, what I recommend is to send different kind of data to different index, and that's really good for data management purposes because sometimes you want some kind of data to age in 3 months, or you want this kind of data to age in 1 year. But also it's important from the point of data model acceleration. As this data model acceleration, if you put on top of it a constraint, it will be pretty much optimized, let's say. So the good point here is that the app that we have already deployed, the NetFlow sample dashboard, comes with the index itself. So let's see if this NetFlow index has been created. Let's go here and check that the NetFlow index has been created. So let's go to settings, data, indexes, and we filter NetFlow. Yeah, you can see here that's the NetFlow index has been already created.
There you go.
That's great. But we will need to change the configuration in a stream in order for the data that it's already been indexed in the default index to be to start to be indexed in the NetFlow index. So, well, let's go from the beginning. If you don't remember the stream app.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah,
so, to be honest.
And I won't remember that in a couple of months. So
yeah.
Fantastic to go from the beginning. So let's choose the stream app. And let's go to configuration, where I will be able to see all the streams that had been configured that are getting data into Splunk. Okay. Well, you can see the traffic that is coming into Splunk, and it's only made of NetFlow data.
Yeah.
This stream. So now let's click here on edit. And you can see here that this the index that was chosen in the previous block was default. And now I will select the NetFlow index. So I choose the NetFlow index, click on save. Fantastic. And now the traffic is being sent to that index. Let's double check these steps. So that's what we've done. So we have checked that the indexes, the NetFlow index had been created inside data indexes, and we have gone to the Splunk stream. We have selected the configure stream. We have selected the NetFlow index, the NetFlow stream, and then we have seen that the default index was chosen, and I have changed to NetFlow index and click on save. Okay, and now let's check that all the traffic is being sent to the NetFlow index. So let's go to our Splunk instance. Next. We can set the time last 15 minutes because we have done this in 2 minutes ago, so it's enough. And fantastic. We can see that the NetFlow traffic it's entering to the instance.
Yeah. So events are formatted in JSON, right? So the JSON
Yeah.
format, and all the fields look to be extracted. Selected fields. This is really nice because if you want to do this with some other technologies, it's not that easy. So you just start ingesting all these events, and so the fields are extracted automatically, and so that's really powerful. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Splunk power.
Splunk power.
Okay, so let's continue. And now we are going to set up the data model acceleration that will help you to have these long-term searches doing really, really fast. So first of all, we will go to data sets and look how the let's say the network traffic data model is able to extract the fields directly from NetFlow data in on read, not when the data is indexed, but how will you do it at read time, let's say. So we'll go to data sets. We'll choose traffic, we can see here that you have a lot of data sets available, and most of them have been charged by the SIEM. The SIEM is a really powerful tool that empowers, in fact, our Splunk Enterprise Security. It's one of our rock stars, but it's also really useful for many other applications, as you will see here.
Yeah, so I've seen some applications saying that they are SIEM compliant. So that means there is a data model or something like that, right?
Yeah. There is a data model that will read the data and will create, let's say, this abstraction of data extracted, but also calculated fields out of the raw data that will well, allow you at the end to get value very fast.
Cool.
So we'll go to network traffic, all traffic. And we will see here how, well, sorry. This is, well, and this is a good, I made a mistake, but it's interesting to showcase other thing. You can see here how directly the data model, it's been applied to all the data in Splunk. And this is not something really optimum, but as this is a demo instance, it is working fast, so there's no issue. Now we will apply the constraint to the index to make it more optimum. But you can see here how the data model is able to extract the destination IP. You can see how it's extracting the duration of the flow. It's extracting here the source IP. So many data, not the whole bunch of data, because the NetFlow traffic has, I don't know, maybe 15 fields, and the network traffic data model is, let's say, broader. It has many more information, but it's not an issue.
Yeah. So it's more generic, let's say. So it can be reused across different kind of traffic. So if there are some particular fields that are not used, so they are empty, as we see. Right?
And also, you will see it later, we will be able to add more fields to the network traffic data model in case we have a really custom field in our flow. So that's not an issue. So in order not to make any more mistake, I will follow the script.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So the first step was going to network traffic, click on edit data model, and then I will have here information about the data model. And first of all, what I will do is to configure the constraints. In the beginning, it has by default constraint, that is this one, SIEM network traffic indexes, tag, and I will add this part of here. So I want the data model only to be applied to that index. Okay. Later, well, let's go step by step, because that can be a bit complex. So let's go to datasets. Let's go to network traffic. Okay, and I will say edit data model. And here's the constraint that I said at the beginning that would appear. So I will click on edit, and I will add here at the beginning or at the end, no problem. Index, E1, index. As you know, in Splunk, you don't need to write AND in a Boolean expression. So a space would be the same as an AND expression.
So is this constraint provided in SPL? So is this SPL valid code?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we have put the constraint. And now let's see how the SIEM is mapping the traffic. Well, this step is the one I've done in the beginning, in the previews. So just clicking on the data model, I have seen how in a table view, all the fields are extracted.
Mm-hmm.
And now I will see how the data model is applied on search time. So I'll be able to see in the search part of the portal how the fields are extracting. So let's go to datasets. And that's important because I'll be able to see if all the relevant fields I want to extract will be available. Network traffic. Okay, and I will say explore.
Mm-hmm.
I can visualize it with Pivot, and it's a really useful tool from Splunk, and that also one of the benefits that SIM model creates, that you're able to exploit your data without knowing SPL. So any people that's available to work with Excel, these kind of skills, will be able to exploit the data. But in this case, I would say, sorry, investigate and search.
Yes, I believe very few people know Pivot, and I think it's very, very powerful. And so it would be nice to make some more material about Pivot in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see.
So now you can see here that at the search, I am not searching anymore directly to the index NetFlow, but I am looking for the data model. So the data model network traffic, all traffic. And I can see that I have here all the information that appeared at the NetFlow log, but also this data model, the traffic, all traffic, has extracted, in this case, has not done any calculated field whatsoever, but it has extracted some of the fields that are available in the log. And what we can see here is that a field that was important for me, and in fact, some of the dashboard rely on this field, that is proto ID, that is related to the IP protocol that is running, has not been extracted. For any reason, this NetFlow generator is not, let's say, standard and has some custom field. So this proto ID is custom, and it's not been extracted directly by the SIM data model. But that's not an issue at all, because we will see now how we can manage this and tell the data model that I want this field to be extracted from now on. So let's continue with the steps. I don't want to get lost again.
No worries, no worries. This is informal, so
absolutely.
mistakes, so no problem at all.
Okay, so we'll go again to data sets. I will go to network traffic again. And in the network traffic management page, I will now add a field. I have several ways to add fields, so I can make Splunk help me by auto-extracting the field. I am not going to need to do any weird expression to be able to extract the data. That's really nice. But I will be able, if I wanted, to even create fields out of some calculations, doing eval expression, maybe using the lookup command, looking from other external data. So I can do many things. But anyway, in this case, I'll only auto extract. So when I click on auto extract, I will see a set of fields that Splunk is able, from a sample of 1,000 events, to detect that those fields could be interesting to be extracted. I will look for the proto ID, that is the one that I want to extract. I will set the same name. I will tell Splunk that it's a number, and I would put it at optional. It's not a compulsory, let's say, field for the protocol. Then I will save, and I will investigate again in search to see if Splunk has been able to extract that field for the future. And we will see that effectively we will have here the proto ID field that has been extracted by Splunk. So let's do that. So I'll go to datasets again. Go to network traffic. I will edit the data model. And as I've explained, I will add a new field, auto-extracted option. Splunk has been thinking which could be the extracted fields I'm looking for. And I will look for the proto ID that it's over here. So I will click on it. It's a number and it would be optional. And click on save. And now the data model will be able to extract the field. So let's go again and check it. And that is really important to do because if I'm not doing that, some of the panels of the dashboards will not work because they are expecting this proto ID field.
Something I'm realizing is you are not coding anything. So everything that you are setting up is done visually, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Later on, we will see the dashboards, and in that case, well, you have a lot of things that you can do directly from the user interface. But once you want to do some more complex stuff, you will need to know a bit of SPL. But the good point is that with all the dashboard that I'll be providing, it should be really, really simple for you. You will only be copy and pasting and doing some modification, of course, but that should help you a lot. So let's go to investigating search again. And we will see that now, you have the proto ID field. So great. Now the data model is behaving just the way we need. And we have done that you can see that in a couple of clicks. And now we have to do the final step. That is the thing that we wanted to do in the beginning, is to accelerate the data model. So we will go again to data models, network traffic, edit data model, and we will configure the data model acceleration. We will save it, and we will check that the data model acceleration have been performed. The data model acceleration, it's a functionality that at the end, what it's doing is to take, instead of applying the lenses at search time, so we say search time, the moment in which once all the data is indexed, you want to play with data. I want to see data, I want to apply dashboarding, I want to apply trends, I want to whatsoever. And this data model is being applied currently at search time. So we are not modifying the raw data that has been indexed as seconds ago, months ago, or whatever. With data model acceleration, what we will do is that every 3 minutes more or less, Splunk will read the raw data and will apply the data model to it. And instead of modifying the raw data, it will create new, let's say, indexed fields that will allow me to have these lenses applied every time I want without needing to do the computational work, because it would be already saved work for me.
So is this what you mentioned at the beginning, the schema on write?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I will be enjoying the schema on read because all the raw data will be without any parsing or whatsoever, but at the same time, Splunk in the background will apply the data model rules to have available the raw data for the schema on read and the summarized data for the schema on write. And I will be able to play with them in the same dashboard, in the same analysis and whatever. It is really powerful.
Yeah, this is, and actually, you know, I teach big data technologies at IE. And so it was last week when I was explaining the difference between a schema and read and a schema and write. And so the different technologies out there following different approaches. And so when I realized that Splunk is able to deal with the two approaches, I was very surprised because it is not that common in other technologies. So you get the flexibility of a schema and read and the efficiency of a schema and write without making a big effort. So you just define the data model acceleration, and so Splunk is doing it for you. That's
absolutely. You know, with this, there is, depending on the technology you use, it's kind of religion. So they say, if I do schema and read is top. If I do schema and write is the one. But that's not true. What we say that each model has its advantages and disadvantages. So why don't we have both and use them depending on the use case?
Indeed.
So it's really powerful.
Great.
So let's go to data model acceleration. I'll go to datasets. The traffic. And now let's edit data model. And I will edit acceleration. So it will be as easy as click here. Of course, you can do some advanced setting. Well, first of all, you will need to perform your summary range. So how long do you want this data to be summarized? For 3 months, during 6 months? So this is interesting because at the end, this summarized data will occupy space on disk. So you need to take care of that. And well, you will have here available some configuration. For example, if you want to go back in time to apply this data model acceleration. So let's say you have traffic data for 6 months, and I want to start data model acceleration today, but I want to have available data model acceleration for the last 3 weeks. So I'll be able to do well, some configuration, also to configure the summary period, the frequency, and so on. But for now,
do you know what those numbers are at the bottom? The scroll down, the summarization period.
This is a cron.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And I'm not good at all with that.
No. But so I was curious about that because when I saw the stars over there, or the asterisk, or whatever it's called in English, so I thought this is the cron tab way of giving when something is going to be executed. So yeah. So that means we are becoming old because I would say new engineers are not used to this kind of notation or whatever it is.
I'm not that old, Raul, because I know that is Chrome, but I'm not able to read it.
Okay. Okay, good point. Good point.
Yeah, but yeah, we will need to do some research to know which is explicitly saying this. But at the end, I wanted to.
If I don't remember bad, the first field is the minutes, and then when you use the slash, that means it is executed every 5 minutes or something like that. Then you have hours. I believe it is day of the week and something like that. So, but or maybe seconds. Maybe I'm wrong. It is not minutes and seconds. No, minutes. I believe it is minutes. Probably. Okay, yeah. Move on, please.
Okay. Yeah, so we have done the acceleration. Let's say it will summary range 3 months. We don't have data for that long period of time. And now we can see here that this data cannot be edited because it's accelerated. So, and that's why all the changes we're performing in this chapter has been done before the acceleration, because now that it's accelerated, I cannot make changes. If I want to make changes, I need to stop the acceleration, perform the changes, and accelerate again. There is no problem because as I can do backfilling, so going back to time, it will reconstruct, let's say, the summary. So no problem at all. And now we will check that the acceleration, it's been performed. And for doing that, it's as easy as see the yellow signal, the thunder, the thunder over here needs to turn yellow for network traffic, of course. So yeah, you can see here that network traffic has become yellow. So now the data model is accelerating. And now we have all that we needed available to start exploring the dashboard app, the app that we installed at the beginning. So first of all, let's explain to you that this dashboard app is really simple. It only had the index, this NetFlow index, and two dashboards. The NetFlow dashboards, that is one that is taking advantage of the schema on write. It uses the tstats command from Splunk, and now we are getting a bit more technical with SPL. But at the end, this tstats command, for the ones that are not used to that, is really similar to the stats command that we usually use in Splunk with real-time data with a schema on write that allows you to make some statistical analysis on the data. But that instead of going to the real-time data, reads from the summarized index that has been created out from the data model acceleration we performed. A cool thing about these stats that we can configure it not only to read from the summarized data, but also to read from the real-time data. And what can we achieve with that is that, let's say that the summarization period is, I don't know, 3 minutes. So I'll be able, if I only look for the summarized data, to go to real-time minus 3 minutes. But if I want to also have real-time in the same dashboard, setting summary only parameter to false, I will go for the long tail using the tstats command, indexed summarized data, and for the last 2-3 minutes of data that has not been summarized but is available in Splunk in the raw index, I will, let's say, use the stats command, and I will have all the information available, only modifying one parameter.
Wow.
Now let's have a look at the, well, these are the examples of the dashboards. So, but let's go directly to the app and see. So I'll go to the NetFlow sample app. And let's go to dashboards. And here are the two dashboards I created. So this one was using the tstats for the long tail data, and demo host was mainly using stats command for taking care of the real-time data. So for example, you want to do some investigation about how a router is performing, you will use this if you want this real-time data, and you will use this one mainly to have some long-term trends. But anyway, let's see them. You will see, well, we're going to set 4 hours, but we have started to do the summarization a couple of minutes ago, so we don't have that bunch of data.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Let's put, 15 minutes, for example. But we won't be able to see that this time because we will need data for a long time to be able to see the benefits. But we will see that this dashboard is really fast because it's taken on summarized data. And here, well, it's the typical dashboard from Splunk. We can do a lot of analytics on that. We can see here what is the aggregated throughput of all the routers that, let's say, work in our network, and we can do some predictions. This prediction will not be really accurate because the size of the data is not so long, But yeah, it was just to the showcase, and that's applying really simple machine learning algorithm. So,
algorithm.
Yeah. Also, we can see here how the traffic it's moving from one router to the other. So this show us how is the network performing. So this a huge percentage of the traffic from this red router is moving to this one, but it's also moving to these little routers that probably are edge routers very near the client.
And is this all this information coming from the simulator?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Well, I made some changes in the simulator because the simulator was creating some. Well, it was really
look at that.
Random data. So I made some simple changes to be able to see something maybe more realistic. So that could be something like a corporate network, and these can be core routers that communicate with each other, maybe around the world. And it could be something like an edge router that's communicating to little routers in the, for example, in the client branches. I don't know.
Okay, so because this is what I was thinking. So when I was doing the test, I didn't see any, let's say, I didn't say things that that made sense to me. It was random. So yeah, probably. So you can share with me the changes that you made to the simulator. I will update my original article just for people who wants to play around with this, because to me this is science fiction. So I'm really bad at creating dashboards, and when I see all these kind of things, I'm very excited of what you are able to do, because actually I was asked to do these kind of things, but basically the deadline at that time was very limited and I didn't have time to invest on this. So, but being able to create these kind of things is very, very powerful, because very easily you can realize things that are happening in your network very quickly. Yeah.
And the good point, because at the end is only a sample app. A very good point is that you can go to any panel that you are interested in simulate, and you can go to open in search, and you'll be able to see directly the SPL code that it's doing that. That will help you to create your own panel. So you can see here that it's using T-stats. It's somewhere in only I explained before to you false. And then I will be able to take real-time data. It's taken the data from the data model, and at the end here is doing something similar to stats. It's sum all the traffic, divided by the source and the destiny, and well, taking the 20 nodes with most traffic. So in case you want to emulate this, it's really simple, and you can take advantage of that also really easily.
Indeed. Can you go back one moment and go over the last panel that you had there, the one representing or containing this graph? Let's scroll down. I believe this one. Yeah. Can you, because to me this is very, very nice visualization, because very easily you can realize the dependencies. And so what is representing this visualization actually? Is the connection between routers? So
it's what it's doing is to take for each one of the routers is detecting towards which one is sending data, and and at the end it creates these pairs and paint them. So you can see, for example, that this router only, and that's part of the customization I made to the simulator. I made this router only to send traffic to this one to that one. And I also tell this one to send random traffic to a lot of points.
Okay. So you were forcing the simulator to have this topology, basically. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, because if not, you will have a lot of not connected dots.
Yeah.
Or connected point to point, but
Yeah.
a lot of segments, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you have no problem. You have also, well, you can, and that's the powerful of Splunk, knowing where are your traffic destiny geolocated, your traffic sources, but that's typical Splunk. That's not something complex. And also, well, and what other things you can do with the data is to have some analysis of a specific host about which is the traffic that is coming through a router, the number of packets, the conversation. This is the number of net flows or the flows per second, which are the protocols that are going through the router. Well, the TCP over protocols and the IP protocols, and also some prediction. But you know, that's normal Splunk. That's the kind of thing that Splunk allows you to do once your data is in.
Yeah.
I think that's all from my side. I don't know if you have any other doubt or something you want to know.
No. This is perfect. So now what I would like to do is to get some time and do it myself, because it looks really, really nice. And so I was thinking of this is, as you said, this is the typical dashboards and panel that you get in a Splunk. And I was thinking of bringing glass tables into this visualization. But so that's gonna be for
part of the
third. Exactly. It's gonna be part 3, and so let's see if we have the chance to work with a customer who wants to check the glass table capabilities, and so we justify the time investment on the task, and we can reduce it because obviously the time is very limited. Thank you very much, Lucas, for spending time sharing this all this stuff with me, first of all, and spending some time on Sunday. So it's this is a personal effort, so that was something we were discussing we wanted to do, and so definitely is, I believe it's a nice activity and something that we are going to remember for at least for a long time. Exactly. Yeah. So if
that's my pleasure. I mean, thank you for the opportunity. It's really interesting and always makes you feel good that you're sharing something that you've done, that you're invested in many hours on this. No, but I'll be happy if it's useful for other people and make them save some time.
Yeah, I told you before that I know some people who are going to be very interested in everything that you've done, because they were using my previous post as a starting point, but they weren't able to take the visualization further because basically I didn't have time, and I don't have the knowledge that you have in some specific areas. And so I believe they're going to love this post as well. So it's been a pleasure to work with you. It's been a pleasure to make this video, and it's going to be a pleasure to share it with ourselves in the future and with some other people who are going to be interested in this for sure. Okay, Lucas, see you tomorrow at work.
Tomorrow, yeah. Enjoy your Sunday evening.
You too.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.